Salakia, God cut off there. But once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Lachak, Wadash. And back to what I was saying. The whole world is being roused up and getting ready for, and we'll get that precept, okay? What they are getting ready for, which is basically World War Three, okay? And the hour of temptation. That's why you see all these things going on because we're winding down to the end. And when the end time comes, things get violence and you see all manner of confusion and chaos all over the place, which is exactly what these military coup represents, these seditions and the wars and so on and so forth, everything that's happening on the earth. Case in point, the Maui wildfires, because it's not just, you know, military coups in West Africa. That's what we are focused on right now. But there are still so many more things happening all over the world that we can even go into as well to show an example that this is the time of the end. But this is what we're highlighting because you can only take it one at a time. The prophecies are going hard, going fast, and coming in waves, not one after the other, but multiple as once. That reminds me of the precept in the book of Revelation where it talks about how the four angels holding back the four winds, right? Let me get this first. Joel 3, verse 9, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's why you're seeing all these military coups happening all over mainly Africa, because every nation, every people, they are preparing for war, okay? And they don't, you people of the world, you don't know what war that is. You think that it's going to be BRICS versus NATO, World War Three, Russia and China versus the US and their allies. No, the war that is actually being prepared is World War Three, because all these armies, all these people you see, whether they're the armies of Moab or Hamites or even Jake armies here in West Africa as well, or in other parts or in other countries where our people are scattered into, all those armies will be gathered together in Joel 3 verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And that's exactly what is happening, where the armies of this world will be gathered together in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is in the Middle East. I don't know, I've forgotten the exact location, the exact place. Somewhere in Syria, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But that is what is happening right now. Everybody is preparing for war. Everybody is preparing for, you know, for war basically, for the great Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, because it's just going to, because this is what is going to come of it. It's going to be Esau Edom sending out his troops, the FEMA troops, the NATO troops, whatever troops, these devils organize, and bringing hell upon the whole world. Anyway, but the reason I haven't really gone into a video about what's going on in these different coups in Niger, Gabon, and all these other different countries, which really it's all the same thing that's happening, the military coups, right? Is because I'm just waiting and watching, right? Because we in this truth, all these little scuffles, these little wars and rumors of wars that are going on. That's why you see in the book of Matthew 24th chapter, it tells you that there shall be wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. This is not the major event. So all you just need to do is just to watch, reports day by day as things are escalating, put your thoughts on it, show how they are part of Bible prophecy and show what the prophecies are leading to, right? And show what the Bible prophecies are leading to and use it to warn our people, which is exactly what we have been doing in this truth for what is it now, 50 years or so, starting with the apostles and then the elders on down. And I said I was going to get a precept in the book of Revelation. I believe it's either the sixth or so chapter, where the angels began to open. I've gotten how that picture goes. Hold on, let me go back to that. That is Revelation 6 or so. I think it's Revelation 8. Okay, yeah, Revelation 7. Yeah, Revelation 7. Yeah, it is Revelation 7, verse 1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. This is what I was going into, right? And those winds, of course, is the winds of tribulation, the winds of yeah, basically the winds of tribulation, catching, hell and all the things that you are seeing happening on the earth right now. Right, Revelation 7 verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending out from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And that's, shows you that the elect has already been sealed, which confirms what the elders and the apostles have been saying. The elect have already been sealed. That's why you see all this hell, all this trouble going on and going on throughout the whole earth, because now the time for the judgment, right? The time for the judgment, the end has begun. Has really begun. We're in the final phase of Esau's kingdom. Okay, and this is really just the beginning, the beginning of the end. This is the beginning. This is prophecy coming to pass. The nations are being riled up. It's not just a coincidence. You have Russia versus NATO, or the rise of the BRICS, even the Western Edomites, right, which is the Babylon Decree and his allies slowly being removed from their power, which is NATO and the EU slowly being removed from their power, or at least it appears as though they might lose that power with the fall of the dollar and the whole BRICS currency and what they claim that it will do, right? France being pushed out of Africa, which is the major reason, okay, or rather the claim, or another claim again of what these coups are about. All this, and seriously speaking as a man right now, but all this is being done to destroy the dollar and to bring in that NWO payment system, right? To bring in a new payment system, a digital payment system, which will be stored by the you know what. And you should really know what it is. If you know, you know. If you don't know, forget about it, right? Because I don't really believe that the BRICS dollar or the BRICS could rise up and push out dollar hegemony, or you know um, make Babylon fall into hyperinflation, or make Babylon lose its place as one of the major superpowers. And I don't really believe that's what's going to happen, but rather that this whole BRICS and this whole BRICS dollar thing is more of a tool to destroy the dollar, okay? And to also, if the dollar is destroyed, Babylon the Great falls into hyperinflation, loses its power. Okay, that's you now gets right, sedition. You now get your martial law. You now get the FEMA camps, then heavy capital punishment. All kinds of hell breaking loose in Babylon the Great and in the West as well. Because if Babylon falls, the rest of the West falls, because they are, Babylon is really going back to World War II. And you know about how was it Nixon or so, one of the presidents of Babylon the Great, held the gold reserves during World War II of all these European nations. So, yeah, with the dollar being the Federal Reserve currency, if Babylon falls, the rest of the West will also fall and become third world countries, and all manner of chaos and hell will break loose. And really, once the dollar enters hyperinflation, that could even be the mark of basically the highlight, right, of Jacob's trouble, which is when all hell will really, all hell will really break loose on the earth. Okay, the time that the scriptures talk about is that there will be a time like no other. Jeremiah 30 verse 7. Let's go to that. Jeremiah 30. Okay, it is Jeremiah 30 verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? This is, how it could happen. because you know that eventually it will happen, but what will lead to that event, what will be the cause of it, what will be the cause of Jacob's trouble, the major Jacob's trouble where the whole world is in complete disarray. There's chaos, and there's chaos, and um the infrastructure as it's set up currently in this kingdom is completely destroyed, which is where you have your hyperinflation, you have your martial law, and basically the purge situation, right? Where where these first world countries fall into complete anarchy. But like I was saying, right, the BRICS, they will believe that they will just come in and replace the dollar and replace Babylon the Great as a world power, which is Psalms 2 and 1 right there. The nations, the heathen, the people imagine a vain thing. But don't be surprised the BRICS currency, because they're talking about unveiling the quote unquote BRICS dollar. Don't be surprised if it ends up being a digital, you know, if it ends up being the digital currency. But anyway, back to the topic that we're talking about, right? Sedition is in the air, and just all you have to do is just wait, because, like I said, the purge conditions, right? The anarchy, total chaos, total anarchy is coming to the West as well. All the things that you see happening in these third world countries with the coups, right? With the civil unrest, with the famines, with the basically everything is coming to the West as well, coming to Babylon the Great and all these other nations. So let me get that precept, because these devils, the more you see these prophecies come to pass, they are just a reminder to Esau, Edom, because like I said, they know the scriptures, they know the prophecies for the most part. But just a reminder to them that their agenda, to speed up their agenda, because their time is running out. Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So with that individual right there, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakak, Wadash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit. I hope you are Kim and you are quite edified. Shalom.